That was a weird versus.
They split the peasantries. Pound for pound, they ain't fucking with us.
I'm gonna go on record right now and say that, and I've hinted at this. I've hinted at this, and I've talked around it, but I'm just gonna directly say it now. Versus is not for me anymore. I don't like Versus. I don't want to watch another one. I'm not interested. It has deteriorated.
Wow.
It has become very low rent. Y'all can quote me on that. It's just, what is that? What is that? And the ridiculous part of the whole thing, and the irony really, is that it's bigger now than it was before. And you would think bigger would be better, but in fact, bigger has made it's sullied what was good about it.
I don't think it's bigger.
Bigger meaning it's at a venue, there's an audience. It's Versus started with people on Instagram playing their music.
Yeah.
It didn't start at a venue. It wasn't a concert. It wasn't like,
I just think today it is way less popular and way less impactful than during COVID. By circumstance. We were all home. Well, I wasn't, but lots of people were home and not working and had a lot of free time. And so it was like something that everyone could watch. It was really culture's biggest night every time a versus happened.
I don't know why that phrase bothers you so much. They're not talking about the entire world. They're talking about the culture that we
Yeah, but it's not
are
though.
a part
But
of.
anyway,
Okay.
I also feel like you
It's a
don't,
tagline. I don't know why it bothers you so much. Everybody has a tagline.
but nobody
Everybody has a
else's
slogan.
tagline is basically that we define the culture.
Ti says he's the king. So what
And
are we talking?
and for a
Like,
long time, people did not like that Ti said that.
there have been artists that compare themselves to God. Like, BET saying culture's biggest night when they're an anchor in Black culture is fine. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's fine if they want to say that, because again, they're a brand just like everybody else. It's a slogan. I feel like I feel like you take it real serious.
I do. I don't like that. Like when
Clearly,
Ti said he was the creator of trap music, people didn't like it. Anyway, back to Versus. I think by circumstance, Versus was both bigger and more impactful during lockdown. But I understand what you're saying. Yes, it has evolved. Definitely. There's no disputing that. You are 100% correct.
yeah. When I say big, I don't mean reach. I'm not talking about reach. I'm talking about the actual scale of the thing. It is larger. Like, it went from two people being inside of their homes and live streaming something to then it was a studio. They were going to a studio. They had people going to a studio, and then eventually it evolved, as you said, into venues with audiences,
You're right.
and now Complex is involved, and Apple is involved, and it's big. It's literally bigger than it was when it started,
You're right.
and that didn't necessarily make it better.
I understand. I was speaking
It
about
lost.
reach, so I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and you're right in terms of reach. I think, yeah, everybody was watching it. That's why it was able to become what it is today, because so many people loved it. So many people tuned in. We were watching it together. It was like back in the Twitter days when we would all watch things together
Right.
and tweet about it in real time. And I hate it now. I'm just gonna tell the truth here. I hate it now.
All right. Well, I
But
guess.
I did watch it and would like for us to talk about Pretty Ricky and B2K. I just wanted to get out that like I'm not doing this again.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. It's gotta be like something groundbreaking for me to watch it again. I just feel like it's an awful show and I don't want to watch it. Like turn the TV off, turn the TV off.
All right. Well, can't wait to see this clip hit the internet. um, I'm not gonna argue with you. You know, what I will say is this Verzuz was very one sided.
That is true.
And hold on, I was wrong. I was big time wrong. I came up here a week or so ago and said that I don't think Pretty Ricky will be able to hang with B2K. I don't
Hmm.
think they have chart topping records like B2K.
Hmm.
And I was absolutely wrong. So I'm glad that I said I'm not very familiar with either of these groups because
Hmm.
it showed when I was watching Verzuz. I was home alone, but I'm thankful I was. Because if anyone else was here, they would have seen me very confused for most of this Verzuz. Because I didn't know most of these records, but what I did know was that Pretty Ricky was mopping the floor with B2K, both performance wise and uh, with the records they chose. They were mopping the floor with these dudes. It was bad. After like the first 3 to 5 songs, I was like, I'm gonna keep watching this for weeknights, but this is over. I imagine it won't get any better, and it did not get any better.
Yeah. What's interesting about it is that I knew most of the B2K songs.
Mm.
I said last week that I was very much a B2K fan. I was also a Pretty Ricky fan. I feel I knew more Pretty Ricky songs than I thought I did, so that was cool. But also, even the songs that I didn't know or didn't remember, I felt like they were better. I also think a lot of people on the internet said this, and I think it's worth saying that B2K and Pretty Ricky, in theory, like when I heard it, I said, "Oh, that's a great pairing. That's a great matchup." I feel like the boy bands of a certain era, makes sense to put them against each other.
Until
In
they started playing
hindsight,
music.
though, right? In hindsight, though, the point that was made is that B2K was singing to little girls and Pretty Ricky were singing to grown women. Like there's a very distinct difference in the content of the music.
Yeah.
So that already makes it an unfair matchup because B2K, I mean, other than Omarion singing about eating the booty like groceries, he didn't actually sing that, but y'all know what I mean. Other than that, which didn't really get played within the battle itself, there's not really a whole lot that can go up against Pretty Ricky's like the content of their music.
It was polar opposites.
Yeah, because B2K was like sweet and I love you and we should be together forever. That puppy love stuff, which is cool and which
And
was
Pretty
great
Ricky was
back
telling
then
you
when
how
they
they
were
keep it juicy.
right, exactly. Literally saying I can keep it juicy for you.
I can make it juicy for you. And I was
We could play house, lay you on the couch.
like, man,
It's 5 a.m.
I was like, I gotta download some of these Pretty Ricky songs because
Pretty Ricky was
I
was
said I
giving it
wasn't
to us.
familiar, and I am very familiar.
Oh yeah,
They put me on, and I was like,
the
oh,
playlist you put on before you put on.
I was like, why I didn't know
That's Pretty
this?
Ricky. That's Pretty
Them
Ricky. Pretty
niggas.
Ricky, I feel like was a new version at the time, was like a new version of Jodeci.
I see why you say that.
Yeah, like not the same sound,
No,
but
I
the
understand.
same vibe.
I get it.
Very much so.
I was like,
Um
wow, okay. And
Also
what
there
was weird was,
mhm.
adding to your point, it didn't help that B2K at some points was trying to mock them and was like, go ahead, Spesh, tell them what the coochie do. Tell them what you're going to do to that coochie. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that's more entertaining for the 40-year-olds than my first heartbreak.
Yeah. Also,
oh, go ahead, you first.
Pretty Ricky. And I never thought that I honestly did, I'm surprised at my reaction to this, whatever they want to call what happened. But Pretty Ricky, better performers, I think, than B2K.
Yes.
Better stage presence, less chaos. Like they were working together in unison. B2K, they look like they break up and get back together again. I think that was something that Pleasure P said.
Yes.
But it's true. They do look like they break up and get back together again, and then they got to figure it out. They got to get their formations in line, and they got to make sure they have enough time before they get on stage. But they're running around, they're all yelling at the same time. Omarion's trying to be the star, which, arguably so, he is. Fizz, I was disappointed in B2K. I don't know what I wanted from them. Because they did the songs, they did all the songs, they did all the hits.
Well, let me stop you there. They didn't do all the songs. All the songs were playing. There's the difference.
Okay.
Pretty Ricky did all the songs.
Yeah, and
B2K had all the songs playing.
And Pleasure P is willing to carry Pretty Ricky on his back.
He did a damn good job.
Him and his red suit. All of them in their red suit.
He did a damn good job.
I mean, I was just laughing. But no, phenomenal job. Truly, like they did a great job. Pleasure P did a great job. All of them. I felt like all three of them were.
What's the third guy's name?
I'll get back to you. I only know Spectacular because Spectacular was the one that was taking them COVID loans, right? He was on. That was when I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop.
Oh shit, that's him, Mr. Social Media.
Yep.
Oh,
he had all kinds of businesses, but they said at the time they were saying he was one of those people in Atlanta that say they everybody say they own a business in Atlanta.
I plead
that don't mean it got no motion.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, Spectacular, Pleasure P, and Diamond Blue. Oh, are Spectacular and Diamond Blue related? Are they brothers? There was another young man in the group that I guess is no longer with the group.
I think he passed away, they were saying, but I could be wrong.
Oh, did he?
I could be wrong, but that was my understanding. But again, I'm not very familiar, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, Baby Blue and Spectacular. So Baby Blue and their cousin Corey, and Pleasure P is the only one who's not related.
The glue and the voice.
And because the other three were all rappers in the group. He was the only singer. That's honestly, if I'm going to be in a group, that's a good deal. I wouldn't want to be one of the three rappers. I would want to be the singer. Okay? Or vice versa. Like the way Fizz is the rapper of B2K, That's what I want. I don't want the same job everybody has, because that's when it gets messy. Everybody want to be the lead singer in the band when there's 3 singers.
That's true.
Absolutely not. Mm-mm.
Yep.
Let me stand on my own too, because again, Pleasure P was ready, willing, and able to carry Pretty Ricky on his back.
No, man,
And I respect that.
even Lizzo tried to jump in and help. She did.
There's a conversation about Lizzo that needs to be had.
Not today.
That will never be had here.
Oh, okay. I was going to say just not today, because I'm cool with it.
You and I will have a conversation about Lizzo. I have thoughts, but I do not want to share them.
If only you had a public platform where you could share those thoughts.
I am
if
never
only
saying
you had a platform where people were looking for you to speak about the latest, the greatest, and the shameless, largely from the famous of the entertainment industry. If only
the thing
you
is,
had that kind of a platform.
The thing is, when you do have a public platform and you already know how people answer certain opinions, it's best to share it with your friends and not with the public. And I have opinions that some people are not going to like, and so I'm not going to share it here. I also think that you have to be responsible when you have a public platform, and I would never want to say anything to disparage or hurt another Black woman or Black man for that matter. And so I'm very careful with the way I speak about certain people, but there are opinions that I do have that are just not for here, and that's fine.
Okay.
And that's fine. And to be clear, Lizzo is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with Lizzo as an artist or anything like that.
Did you enjoy her cameo?
I don't know why she was there.
Verzuz?
Why was Lizzo there?
I think she was there as a fan who also was just in LA chilling. And then they gave her the mic and was like...
Yeah, I saw Lizzo. I saw Scrappy. Did you see Scrappy on the stage?
Oh, no, I didn't peep that.
Scrappy was on the stage.
I saw Marion's brother. What's his name?
Orion.
Watermelon?
I didn't want him to be there. Remember I said I didn't want Orion to be there? I texted you like, now you didn't even tell me that Orion was there.
He didn't do anything, so it didn't matter.
I was worried. As soon as they said Orion's name, I said, oh gosh, please.
I mean, Pleasure P told him. He said, you need to come out with the watermelon.
He did.
They need you and the watermelon because they're getting their ass kicked.
I'm glad he did not. Just, please. Oh, there were other members of Pretty Ricky, too. Okay, we won't talk about them.
All right. Can I ask you something?
Ask me.
What happened that B2K can't sing anymore?
Time.
Because it was like they couldn't sing. I was like, I'm confused. Even Omarion, it wasn't until like the end that he started really singing. I was like, what happened? They didn't do their tea with honey and lemon? It wasn't drinking their tea? They wasn't in the locker room doing, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. They wasn't hitting those?
I don't think so. I think, you know what I think they were hitting? Arrogance.
Oh.
They were teen heartthrobs. Okay? They were teen heartthrobs. And I think that sometimes the heartthrobs think that they could just get on stage and be heartthrobs again and take everybody back to a nostalgic place. And that is mostly true, right? Like, but also the same way y'all got older, we got older. I'm not coming here for a lackluster show.
Right. But they didn't see Bobby Brown when he did Verzuz. They didn't.
Omarion didn't see himself?
That's valid.
This is not his first Verzuz.
You're right. And even if it was, and even if we forgot, Pleasure P reminded us. He said, Omarion, this is going to be your second ass kicking. on Verzuz.
He said, "How you lose versus twice?"
And he did.
And I felt that. I
And he
did.
did.
I said, "Oh, he is losing versus twice."
Yeah.
That is a good question. Questions that
Omarion
need
is
to
0
be
for 2.
answered. Omarion should never do verses again, please. Not in any
I agree.
capacity. Don't even get on the stage with somebody. I feel like Omarion is that dude who want to be on the stage too. Don't come on the stage with nobody the next time they come up there. Not none of your little friends. I don't. Was it Bow Wow? Let's say Bow Wow comes up there. Don't do it.
Bow Wow did Verzuz already, no?
I don't remember.
Didn't he battle Master P's son? Or Soldier Boy? One of them?
I don't.
It ended up being a Young Boys show, but originally the battle was Bow Wow versus either Romeo or Bow Wow versus Soldier Boy.
I did a whole speech at the beginning of this about how I hate verses. I don't know. Also, just so you know, I just want to clear up the fourth member of Pretty Ricky Slickum is not deceased. He is.
It was Soldier Boy.
Alive, but he is. It looks like he's been struggling with addiction.
Okay. So well, I apologize. I apologize for putting death on you, young man. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was wrong again.